Easy to play, fun, and for any amount of players. Let's talk about Welcome to. What's up, Meeples? Welcome to Hero of the Meeple, where we talk board games and more. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the game Welcome to by Deepwater Games and Blue Cocker. It's for 1 to essentially infinite amount of players. Stick around after the how to play for my review on the game. In Welcome to, you'll play as competing architects in the 1950s working to design the best what happened to my color? We're not actually in the 1950s. Alexa.
Yes.
Turn the color back on.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so architects in the 1950s working to design the best neighborhoods. Will you concentrate on luxurious pools, create an abundance of green spaces with parks, or fence off fancy estates to become the most notorious architect in town? Or will you move your architectural style from the 1950s into the 2020s by hitting that like button? Let's get set up for play. Shuffle the 3 sets of city plan cards and choose 1 card from each set. You'll see in the upper right corner of the card there's an N1, N2, or N3. Make sure to draw 1 from each and put the rest back in the box. The cards with asterisks are for the advanced rules, which you can experiment with once you're more familiar with the game. Make sure to place the cards with the approved stamp side down. The side with the 2 numbers at the bottom should be face up. Next, shuffle up all of the construction cards and divide them into 3 equal decks of 27 each with the house number side up. Place them in a column on the table with room for discarding next to each. Lastly, each player will need a player sheet and a pen or pencil. The core game comes with 100 sheets. Alternatively, you can download the free Welcome to app, which serves as a digital player sheet. Your player sheet will help you track your houses and points. The player with the most points at the end of the game is the winner. Before you start, make sure everyone writes a name in their player sheet for their city. There are no turns in Welcome to, as everybody plays concurrently. At the start of each turn, flip over the cards on each of the 3 construction decks into a new pile so everyone can see the effect side of the cards. Each row now represents an option of combinations to be used in this turn, consisting of a house number and an effect. At this point, everyone will simultaneously choose one of the 3 card combinations for their turn. Any player is allowed to choose any of the 3 combinations. Now, on your player sheet, you will write in the chosen house number and apply the corresponding effect. You'll see on your player sheet 3 rows of houses. These represent 3 streets in your neighborhood. Once you have chosen your house number effect combination, you'll want to write in your house number on an empty house space first. You must write the number you have chosen on an empty house or a house where no number has been written yet. And importantly, you'll need to write your houses in ascending order from left to right. The same number can never appear twice on a street unless you apply the business effect, which we will get to in a minute. Numbers can be filled in any space. It need not be next to an existing house. Additionally, you can skip numbers as long as the numbers are still in an ascending order. If you cannot fill in an empty house because the house numbers don't follow the previously mentioned rules, then you will receive a building permit refusal. Cross off the topmost, lowest number space in the bottom right red section for this. Ignore the asterisk column, which is for the advanced rules. Any refusals after the first will be negative points in the end. After jotting down your house number, you're now going to apply the corresponding effect. Important note, although adding a house number is mandatory, performing effect is optional. Okay, let's go over the effects. Surveyor, or the fence card. This effect lets you build a fence between 2 houses. Choose any white dotted fence and draw a line over it, indicating you have constructed a fence there. There are permanent fences on either side of the street. Houses enclosed by a fence on the left and the right are considered to be an estate. You do not need to build a fence next to a house you just built. You can build a fence anywhere on your 3 streets. Before we go over the 5 other effects, let's talk about those 3 city plan cards you drew at the beginning of the game. Each of those cards represents public goals that will award extra points if completed. Each of the black rectangles represents an estate pattern. For example, this represents an estate of 4 houses. By building each of the estates on a city plan card, you will be awarded the corresponding points at the bottom. If you are the first to complete the plan, you get the higher number of points. Write down the corresponding points on your player sheet and flip the card over. You cannot get points from the same city plan card twice, and any of the player who accomplishes the goal will be awarded the second lower number. To get an estate, each house within the fence boundaries must have been constructed. Any estates used to accomplish the city plan cannot be used toward other city plans and cannot be divided into smaller estates with fences going forward. The first player to complete a city plan can elect to reshuffle all construction cards into 3 new decks. Alright, back to the effects. Real estate agent. This increases the ending point value of your completed estates. Cross off the topmost lowest number in one of the estate columns. At the end of the game, your estates will be worth the topmost unmarked numbers in their corresponding value column. Landscaper, or park card. This effect allows you to cross off the leftmost lowest park number on the top right of each street. The leftmost number that is unmarked on each street will add into your total points at the end. Importantly, parks must be built on the same street you built a house on that turn. The pool card. The more pools you build, the more points you get. To be awarded pool points, you must build your house on a plot that has a planned pool, indicated by a pool illustration. If you build your house on a lot that does not have a pool in this turn, then you cannot score any pool points. If you do build your house with a planned pool and choose a pool effect, then circle that pool to indicate it was built and cross off the topmost, lowest numbered space in the pools column. Temp agency. This allows you to choose a house number to build and add or subtract 1 or 2 from the number. Construction cards can range from 1 to 15, but with the temp agency, you can technically have houses on your streets numbering from 0 to 17. Each time you use this effect, cross off a box in the temp agency column. The player with the most at the end of the game gets 7 points, second gets 4, and the third gets 1 point. In a tie, both players get the points. Lastly, the biz card. The biz card lets you duplicate a house to its immediate left or right. The biz card allows you to have 2 houses of the same number on the same street, which is normally not allowed. When using the biz card, copy the number of the house you've chosen into an adjacent house and write the letter B or biz to indicate the biz effect. Duplicated houses can never be separated by fences, can be duplicated multiple times, and do not have to be for the house number you built in that turn. Cross off the topmost lowest numbered space in the biz column. The first one is free, but subsequent biz effects will cost you points. Okay, now you know how to play Welcome to. The game ends when one of 3 things happens. A player crosses off their third building permit refusal, or a player achieves all 3 city plan goals, or a player has built all the houses on all 3 of their streets. Add up all the points in the score section of your player sheet to see who the winner is. In a tie, the player with the most complete estates wins. Welcome to was really easy to set up and learn, and now you're actually ready to play. If you're not convinced yet on whether to pick up Welcome to or not, well, I'm glad you're still here. Let's break the game down. Don't forget to go with the times, see, and hit that like button. Oh! Alright, let's break down Welcome to. Components quality, 2 out of 5. It's not that the quality of the components is bad, there just isn't much there. I thoroughly enjoy writing on the player sheets, but with only 100 in the box, it begs the question as to what happens when you run out. You have the app option as mentioned previously, you can order more sheets, or you can buy the dry erase boards in packs of 4. I wish these had been standard to the game. Learning curve, 4 out of 5. It might take a few times after each effect comes up to remember what they all do, but I'd guess that 15 minutes into your first game, you'll be feeling pretty comfortable with the mechanics. Speaking of mechanics, 4 out of 5. A simple roll and write game without the rolling. At first glance, Welcome to looks like an overly simple family game, and it is, and so much more. It's fast paced, players are always engaged, and the more you play, the more game strategy you will develop. I personally love this game for any amount of players. The number of players in play will do very little to affect gameplay, making it just as fun with 2 players as it is with 12 players. I played the solo rules as well and enjoyed it just as much as when playing against others. Replayability, 5 out of 5. This is a great, quick game to pull out at home and play solo or with your family. It's great for parties, it's great for changing pace between hardcore, lengthy games at game night. Trying to beat your previous high score is almost addicting. Fun, 4 out of 5. Welcome to is a really satisfying game to play. Each game makes you want to play another. I love switching up strategies from game to game. This game, I'm going to concentrate on building all the pools. Next game, all the parts. Next game, increase my estate values. There's a lot of satisfaction when it comes to choosing and writing down your house number effect combinations. I love Welcome to. It's such a simple and fun game, but it's really addictive. There's a lot of strategizing there. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Have you picked up Welcome to? Do you plan to pick it up? Do you wish you lived in the 1950s? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright Meeples, that's it for today. This hero has some gaming to do. I'll see you later. Oh!